All right. Thank you, Jaden and team. Welcome, everybody. Getting a couple of minutes to allow more people to join in. Hope everybody's doing well out there, obviously, and happy holidays. For those of you who are in parts of the country that are cold, hope you're staying warm. Next week is Christmas. And for those unfranchised owners, we're experiencing a lot of momentum as we finish 2025 with a lot of strength with our 12, 12, 12, 12 event. So that's really exciting. Around the world, actually, it's a worldwide event, you know. So, but it's great to be with everybody tonight. I'm broadcasting from Greensboro, North Carolina, where our world headquarters is located. And before we get started here, and before I introduce, I know Brett Portelli was nice enough to partner with me tonight. He's coming to us from I think, the Jersey Shore. And actually, uniquely enough, he stopped by his parents' house where he grew up. Yeah, so it's kind of nostalgic. You're broadcasting from your childhood, bedroom, which is kind of nice. Anyhow, well, my name is Andrew Weissman. I'm Vice President of Market America Worldwide and Shop.com. And more importantly and more proudly, I'm a unfranchise owner. And I just want to give you just a few points of interest, just kind of set the tone and stage here before I introduce Brett. Um, you know, this presentation, there's no pitch, there's no sale. I'm not looking to convince you of anything or sell you anything. We're just looking here to enlighten you about who we are, what we do, why we do it, where we've come from a little bit, and I think you'll get a sense as to where we're going. And I think it's worth noting that the person who invited you to be part of this presentation, to check us out, really thought enough of you and respected you enough. And I say that because, we do attract entrepreneurs. We attract individuals that are very sincere and serious about enhancing their quality of life and or improving their standard of living. And of course, that means different things to different people. And all we've done as a corporation, our enterprise for 34 years has simply provided individuals with a proven business plan, a system, the tools, the resources, the training, the support, the products, the technology to enable individuals to reach their personal and financial goals. That's what we're all about. That's what we've done for over 34 years. That's what we continue to do. I believe we're still a sleeping giant, the best kept secret. Nobody's really even heard of our brands or heard of the name of our company. But we're fortunate and feel very blessed to have a very realistic, yet very lucrative compensation plan and products that really do perform and really can impact the quality of people's lives. So ultimately, you've been given a gift. For those of you who are guests who've joined that, you've been given a gift during the gifting season. So happy holidays to everybody. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time and checking us out, welcome. And just kind of sit back, listen, learn. Don't worry about understanding it all tonight because you won't. But if there's any interest at all, we just encourage you to book a follow-up appointment with the person who introduced you to us tonight and gain some more insight and learn how our business is structured and how it works. All right. So with that, Brett Portelli, we're very fortunate to have him partner with us tonight. He's a national supervising coordinator. He's a master unfranchise owner. And for those of you who don't know, a national supervising coordinator is an unfranchised owner who has earned 10,000 to 15,000 US dollars in 4 weeks. So, Brett is a great leader. He's a great teacher, a great communicator. He's not only succeeded himself, but as you understand how our business is organized, in order for you to succeed, others, succeed. So by other people succeeding and working as a team, it ensures your own success. So Brett has been able to lead a great team of other unfranchised owners and entrepreneurs who are experiencing a considerable amount of success and has a great team. And they're growing at a really nice clip here. I know it's just the beginning. I know this is not, he has high expectations and he's continuing to grow. Recently married and just a great individual. So Brett, thank you for taking your time during the holiday season and sharing your insight and your experiences and what you've, done here with us tonight. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity, so, just so I'm not a complete stranger, I think Andrew pretty much told you my last 10, 15 years, but yeah, I'm actually broadcasting from my old room, which is kind of funny because this is where I got started 15 years ago in 2011 with the business. So I was in college at the time. I was 19, 20 years old. I was coming out of school. I was in an internship and I was looking for something without actually saying it. I don't know if anyone else knows what I'm saying, but like I just couldn't verbalize it. I just didn't want to go down the path of trading time for money forever, because that was the path I was going down. When I did graduate, I was working 70 hours a week. I was in the financial world. Financially did okay, but 70 hours a week catches up to you. And when you start realizing that it's dependent on your time. So if something happened to me, that income stops, right? So
Mm.
that's really what got me going in the beginning was like, okay, making sure that there was a secondary source of income, a safety net there just in case something happened. And in 2017, I did become a full-time entrepreneur with marketamericashop.com. I haven't worked for someone else since. And it's been a blessing just to have been able to help a lot of other people. More importantly, I'm not that special, but we have a very special company with a special system that if you follow it, which has been proven since 1992, you can be successful too. And that's what we'll be covering tonight.
That's beautiful. I mentioned how we attract entrepreneurs. We don't attract people who are what we call comfortably miserable. I have friends that are comfortably, we all know people who are comfortably miserable. These are people who they complain and they wish, but they're not willing to do anything differently in order to get a different result. So we attract those individuals that are ready, willing, and able to make something happen, coachable enough to follow a proven business plan. And like you mentioned, we just simply have a very special system. Once the tasks and activities are learned and practiced and you have fun with the process, you
Yep.
can't help but succeed. It's only a matter of time. So I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to jump right in. Okay, let's see here. This goes here and this goes here. Did I do that successfully? You can see
Great.
I'm good, right, Brett?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. An introduction to the unfranchised business. We call this the first look. We are built on product and powered by people. And our mission is simply to provide a system for entrepreneurs to create an additional income stream while providing consumers worldwide with a better way to shop. I'm an impressive reader, huh? Uh, Through result producing activities and the power and technology and the power of people, we believe that we're creating the economy of the future. And as you understand how our business is organized, how it's structured, what the model looks like, it's really all about creating your own economy or your own individual economy. And we often kind of joke a little bit by saying whether the other economy is doing well or not, we're continuing to thrive because it's all about economic connectivity and having products that really do impact the quality of people's lives. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the results and the benefits people have experienced for over 30, 40 years using our exclusive products. And I think, as we kind of go through this, I think you all will agree that the economy has changed dramatically. And you think about, the current workforce, the environment in the corporate world, it's changed, especially since COVID, right? I mean, that changed everything. But I think it changed, for us, we really thrived dramatically through the COVID years. And it's creating unprecedented opportunities for people to become entrepreneurs. When you think about the trends right now, there's an immediate need for income. The cost of living hasn't increased the past several years. It continues to rise. We've all felt it, in one way or another, just living our lives. Um, Online shopping or online sales and technologies, mobile technology, and now with Chat GPT, with AI, these technologies continue to advance, and there's a continuous rise in online sales compared to brick and mortar. We believe that people hate to be sold on something, but they do love to buy. We call this one-to-one marketing, matching products to people and people to products, right? People hate to be sold, but they love to buy. Is exactly what we do with the unfranchised business. Then the gig economy. And I think, Brett, you're a perfect example of somebody who got an education, was in the financial world, doing your thing, working 80, 90 hours a week, and then you were open-minded enough, to evaluate something and you latched onto it and you simply made it happen. Here you are now controlling your time, what you want to do, when you want to do it, with who you want to do it with, and where. So, there's a growth in entrepreneurship. More and more people are recognizing that they're not going to be able to get there by working for somebody else. They have to have a plan, for their own financial success. So if you really think about it, people do want to have control, as far as where they want to work, how much they want to work, that type of freedom um, is really not really experienced by very many people, But for us, for 34 years, we have thousands and thousands of people spanning 9 countries currently that have been able to do just that, So we're positioned perfectly, and you can be positioned perfectly to take advantage of all the trends that I've just mentioned with a business called the UnFranchise Business. And Brett, I think you're, once again, like I said, you're a perfect example.
Absolutely. So when I saw this, I mean, the 45-year plan was just a concept. I was just like, okay, well, what does that actually mean? But when you draw it out and you say, okay, for the average person, it takes, from the ages of 20 to 22 to the ages of 60, 65 to save up enough money to retire, right? And retirement, we're taught as an age, but it's really a financial status. Right. So if have the ability or have a vehicle that will overpay your liabilities, you technically will free up your time. Right. But we're not taught that. We're taught go to school, get good grades, go through the 45-year plan. And then when you actually look at the numbers, once you get to 65, I believe that's the next, right?
My bad.
So, no, you're good. The numbers, I didn't know if I had control or not. So when you look at the numbers, this was so eye-opening to myself because it was just like, okay, I work really hard. I think all of us here the week before the holidays, like, you're a hard worker. You wouldn't be here otherwise. Where it's like, okay, like if I do everything right, how does it actually end up? And 53% of the time you're flat broke, where we're basically surviving off financial or government aid. 17%, of us unfortunately don't make it to the age of retirement, which is, I don't want to get into. 25% of us are still working because once again, the cost of living continues to rise. Yet, the income that we had either saved up or the income that we're currently making is still not enough for us to be able to maintain our lifestyle. And then 5% of people have built an asset, built a business, built something where they're able to retire at the same level of which they pre-retirement, right? And that's something that when you understand our business, which we're going to continue to cover tonight, you have the opportunity to do that if you follow the system, right? And you can see it on the slide. 95% of the time, we spend, 95% of the people spend 5% of the time working 45 years for the 5%, right? I studied numbers. I didn't study English, guys. So if you can read this, you can probably do better than I. But I will tell you that just follow the system because it really is. It took me a few times to get it. I'm not going to lie. But when it really started to seep in, you realize how thankful that, and precious this could be for you.
Amen. Amen. So what we offer is a 2 to 3 year plan. And you start to think about different businesses or opportunities that are out there. You sort of quickly recognize that they either take too much time or too much money to really successfully, make happen. You think about starting a franchise. You think about starting your own business even. What kind of business you're going to start? Where's the money and time going to come from?
Yeah.
Even traditional network marketing comes up and people try, but it generally takes producing way too much volume and recruiting way too many people for any one person to make any significant amount of money. Working more hours, getting a second or third job, there's things one can do to make extra money. People can, drive an Uber or do a DoorDash or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. But what we're talking about is creating a valuable asset and an income that's supplemental. So the way I like to say it is once you develop this business successfully, you're going to get paid whether you like it or not. Right. And there's been nobody who sent commissions back to the company, Brett. So anyhow, But so what we offer is a 2 to 3 year business plan, right? Not 2 to 3 months. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, energy, and effort, right? But you have fun, as our founder and CEO used to say, the joy is in the journey. And the 2 to 3 year plan is based on an individual investing approximately 8 to 15 hours per week. Granted, somebody can compress the plan and do a lot more in a shorter period of time, or you can lengthen it by simply doing less. It'll just take a little bit longer to develop the business. But it's really up to you. It's ultimately what you want and when you want it. We just help you develop a detailed plan based on the time, energy, and effort that you want to invest. And that's once again strictly up to you. So Brett, talk to us about some of the um,
Yeah,
the
absolutely. I got
attractions to the business, right?
everyone here has a little bit of a different reason, but it's like, okay, what would an additional income do for you? Is it saving money for retirement? Because that was my thing, right? Is it paying off debt? Is it making sure that your kids have a tuition that is going to be paid off, right? Or a mortgage payment that needs to pay down, or whatever it may be. That's when you start thinking about what this could potentially be for you. And what I would say and recommend is once you're crystal clear on that, I would recommend writing it down for yourself. And this is a little side note, but writing it down for yourself and put emotions into it as if it's already done. So like meaning like, okay, like I paid off my mortgage. It feels incredible that, it's taken care of. And like you put yourself into that already imagined state. It's a lot easier to kind of work through some of the ups and downs that life brings us when you have that end goal in mind.
That's awesome. Yeah. What's nice about this, it creates a lot of, I love that. You put the emotion into it. It creates a lot of meaning for the individual, right? So it's
Exactly.
not just about just doing things. You have a real purpose,
Exactly.
and a detailed plan of action. So as long as one is consistent doing the daily goal, a little bit each day, it all builds upon itself. And you start to develop some momentum, and the business will start to take on a life of its own in some cases, right? It'll start to grow with you or without you. And once again, it's about that valuable asset that's created here. So very special. So ultimately, we're providing, we like to refer to as an e-commerce business in a box. So if you think about getting into e-commerce or online shopping, or just selling online, yeah, there's other ways to do it, but there's no other system that has all the resources and tools, and products, and that handles all the distribution and customer service, and everything is handled all as an entrepreneur. That one needs to do here is simply expose the products, impact the quality of people's lives, attract people who also want to be an entrepreneur, and then leverage our meeting, training, and seminar system, which supports the growth of your business. It's really that simple, right? So with our e-commerce business in a box, you can earn immediate cash from our exclusive products. We provide you with a shop.com site, among other exclusive brand websites, all e-commerce enabled. We even provide a global shop.com site because we can service customers in 190 countries. There's no geographical boundaries as an unfranchised owner. Okay. We provide all the resources, which I've mentioned a couple of times already, and there's unlimited earnings potential. Ultimately, it's up to you, right? And to Brett's point, it's important to take the time, put the emotion into it, identify what your purpose is, why you're looking to pursue the development of the business, and determine what you want and when you want it. And we'll just help you develop a detailed plan to get there, So it becomes about you and your family and why you're developing this. And I think that's a really special thing. We've been so fortunate to attract great individuals, great human beings, great entrepreneurs like Brett Portelli, uh, and to this community of entrepreneurs that we have globally spanning 9 countries is quite unique and very special. I don't know of another business that you can be in where you have people that will support you and help you and guide you and coach you. We all have ups and downs, but here you don't get too high or too low. Just continue to move forward. But when you think about in contrast to the corporate world, or if you had your own business, there's a lot of competition out there. Nobody's going to really look to help you, Well, here, that's what we're all about, because by other people succeeding, and working with people who deserve your time, energy, and effort, you automatically succeed. And a lot of people look for a guarantee. Well, that's guaranteed. If other people succeed on your team, which they will by simply following our proven business plan, it's guaranteed that you'll earn, right? I mean, Brett, you and your team are a great example of that. You may want to speak to that if you don't mind, because I love, and you have Wallace and you have Mark Bernanke and just some great people, and you have new levels being achieved, new income levels being achieved, every couple of weeks, it feels like. I see all the recognition on social media. So congratulations to that. But if you don't mind, maybe talk a little about your team and what you've accomplished, the community that you've experienced, and what the benefits you've felt from that.
Sure. So I would confidently say without the community, I wouldn't be here today. I would go out on a limb and say that, just because the relationships where I believe more people would love to be entrepreneurs, but the biggest fear is I don't have the support that's needed, and I don't have the guidance and the track record to be, guided down in order for me to succeed. So with our business, our community, the relationships that you build, are I can't put it. It's not, you can't quantify it. It's so valuable, because in entrepreneurship, of those fears that I just mentioned, that gets taken away, because now you have the support. Now you have people that want you to succeed. And at the same time, as Andrew already mentioned, as other people start to succeed, we'll get into it a little bit later, but it actually solidifies the income for all of us. So
Exactly.
it's, from the corporate background, yeah, no one ever tried to lift me up for their benefit. So
Exactly. We often remember, JR used to say this all the time. In order to climb the rungs of the corporate ladder, people kind of have to come down in order for you to
exactly,
continue to rise to the top. Here, that's not the case.
exactly,
But talk to us
exactly.
a little bit, Brett, about why people are
Sure.
attracted to this. What's in it for them?
Yeah, we've touched on a few of these guys, but I mean, like, pick which one that is attractive for you. The mentorship and coaching, I think, is people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to have the training and the coaching sessions that we get here. Like, you have access to it. Like, it's fun. It's, once again, it's mobile and it's online, but it's also in person, which was fantastic, because my schedule was 80 hours a week, as Andrew mentioned. Like, I didn't have an extra 30 hours a week for the business. So the ability to have it in 15, 20-minute increments, to be able to have that aspect of it where you could, help a customer or client out, like, there's so many aspects like that people overlooked. We don't have to take on the inventory. Like, when I started, guys, like I mentioned before, I was 19. Who's going to give me a $250,000 loan to open up a business with no track record, or $500,000, whatever amount, for even just buying a franchise? Like, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about, all the overhead costs that are associated with traditional brick and mortar. So you have a 24-hour business. This is also something very special, especially in my generation. A lot of people do their shopping when they're in their PJs at 2 a.m., right? They don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to be able to say, hey, I know what I want. Where can I get it? Let me shop. And, with AI and everything that's coming forward the next 5, 10 years, you have to ask yourself, is online shopping going to go up or go down? Right. And
Yeah.
that trend is pointing in the right direction. You can position yourself to take advantage of that.
Oh, it's so perfect. Exactly. We've incorporated AI in the business, haven't we, with our co-pilot?
We have.
I mean,
Yeah.
really have a partner 24/7. You can ask anything to help you do a social media post, ask a question about a product. It's really phenomenal. It continues to advance and improve as time goes on, as technology continues to advance. But, just from a community standpoint, you're in business for yourself. By all means, you're in business for yourself, but you're never by yourself here. And I'm glad, I like what you said, Brett. You maybe wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the community, that we have available to support everybody's efforts. So that's a very special and very valuable thing. So we're going to run this video. We call it the Introduction to Market America and Shop.com. So we're going to, I need to share. Let's see. I didn't share with sound. Hold on one second. I'm going to stop the share and share again, I think. I think, Brett, maybe you mentioned this. You don't have to be that smart to be successful here. Here, share sound. Here we go.
The power of Market America and the unfranchised system makes it possible for anyone to succeed who otherwise would not have had a way to do it.
We've created a solid foundation for which we'll continue to grow. One of the most important things you can do is keep the business simple.
The best way to predict the future is to create it. We will continue to make the impossible possible. Groundbreaking products and delivery systems, incredible technological advancements.
Companies don't make people successful. People make companies successful.
There's something very special about this community. Yes, we're economically driven. Yes, we're entrepreneurs. Yes, we're in it to make money and to help others make money. But we also develop a community. Everybody in the world wishes they had what you have. You need to tell them about it.
Be the best version of you. It all starts with you.
Market America is an internet digital marketing and product brokerage company with a universal shopping cart. That is what we are.
Anything you could want, you can get from shop.com.
We are always, as a company, identifying and adapting to paradigm shifts in the world.
I knew that this was an organization that paid very close attention to detail and was committed to what they said they were going to do.
I'm an ambassador for Market America because I believe in the model.
They will know Market America like they know Coca-Cola and Pepsi. I am not paid to be here. I'm here because I believe in the mission of this company and I believe in all of you.
Be great, be exceptional, be extraordinary, be authentic, be disruptive.
There's a new economy that you're going to tap into. Take advantage of it. The time is now.
Brett, before I normally play the video, I preface it by talking about the fact that you're going to hear very passionate voices in the video. So those voices was our founder and CEO, J.R. Ridinger, our CEO, Lauren Ridinger, our co-founder, Mark Ashley, our president and COO, and our president of shop.com, Steve Ashley. So obviously there's a lot of passion, there. I think that was definitely felt. So going forward here, we're so fortunate to have leaders. By the way, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the vision, the belief, the determination of J.R. Ridinger, our founder, chairman, and CEO. We lost J.R. suddenly a little over 3 years ago. He founded this company with Lauren, 34 years ago. So, we're blessed to have had all the time with JR. I know me personally, he is a mentor of mine, working with him for 30 years. So grateful and thankful for all the lessons that I learned personally, life lessons and business lessons. And I know there are thousands of people out there that take the lessons and continue to apply those to their own personal lives and the growth of their business. But our company continues to be led by Lauren, our co-founder, our CEO, and she is just a power in her own right, a great marketer, a great communicator, a great leader, and so we just continue to move forward. We're just blessed to have this type of leadership. And I think going back to the original thought, idea, and vision, in 1992. J.R. and Lauren Ridinger, they envisioned a concept that would allow people to shop online. Now, check this out. J.R. was talking about people shopping from their home computers in 1984. And there's even, he quoted in an Atlantic City newspaper. It's unbelievable to think about that, way before the internet and even before computers came about, quite frankly, for the most part. And so allow people to shop online, receive cash back on their everyday purchases, and earn commissions by simply sharing their favorite products with others. And from this thought, this idea, Market America grew from humble beginnings, small little house in Greensboro, North Carolina, to the global enterprise it is today. Our headquarters are still, located here in Greensboro, but we do operate in 9 countries. I mentioned that earlier. We have tens of thousands of unfranchised owners or entrepreneurs and paid billions since the inception of the company. Actually, over 6.2 billion when you combine retail profits and commissions. So the legacy of Market America and Shop.com continues. And we've always adapted, we've evolved, we've grown, we've learned, and we continue to do that. So it's a very unique time as we incorporate new technologies and continue to evolve into something even greater as time goes on. But just very quickly about JR, like I said, just a blessing to have his leadership and his vision, his belief. JR, he really did. He revolutionized the direct sales industry. He shifted the focus to real products for real people, and creating an environment or an atmosphere of cooperation as opposed to competition, right? A cooperative business model for global success. He pioneered online retail innovations. Like I said, he was talking about this way before anybody even had any idea about it. And he bridged the gap to an aspirational and attainable opportunity worldwide. He, I call JR a belief extraordinaire. He empowered individuals to build their own economy, allowing for personal and financial achievement. I mean, he really did believe in other people, even more so they even believed in themselves, because he was one that believed that anything was possible. If you could think it, you could make it happen, right? But it was about taking action, right? Having a plan. And people to support your efforts. And that's exactly what our model provides. So he ignited belief in everyone around him as an extraordinary believer in human resilience and the entrepreneurial spirit. And he built a blueprint, the UnFranchise Business, a blueprint for global success with the UnFranchise Business and the Management Performance Compensation Plan. And it really is a legacy for hope for future generations. Now, the MPCP is something for those of you who are guests learning for the first time and gaining some insight as to who we are and what we do and what we are. That's what you'll learn about, which is the structure of the business and how you're compensated in the appointment that you'll make, if there's any interest at all. So ultimately, we have a great team. We've attracted incredible entrepreneurs in our global community of unfranchised owners, and we have a real partnership with our corporate team and our internal team, which is hundreds of people worldwide, and our unfranchised owners. And that partnership is very strong. And JR used to call it a symbiotic relationship. One depends on the other. So with this team, JR used to call this a motley crew. But we have a lot of fun. We're all very passionate about the growth and the advancement of our enterprise and helping other people succeed. It's really what we're all about. So it's great to have this team to support your efforts. But Brett, talk to us a little bit about, what Market America is. We've given a lot of great information, but they might be thinking, well, what is this? What's going on?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you guys can read it with me, but Market America, shop.com is a product brokerage, right? Internet marketing company powered by entrepreneurs around the world. In layman's terms, it's like we're the middleman. So whatever a customer is looking for, we'll find and outsource it and connect them to that product, which has been fantastic. It was founded in 1992. I always like to joke I was founded in 1991. So it's just,
Wow.
It's kind of crazy to say that, but, headquarters, North Carolina, operations, Andrew's done an amazing job to talk about the significance of it. But I think the Better Business Bureau, if you guys look closely at the bottom where it says 2013, 2018, and 24, it is very rare to win the Better Business Bureau Award for ethics and integrity in the marketplace once, let alone 3 times. And it just goes to state how fortunate and ethical the company is from an operation standpoint, but also for us, the business owners and the clients on the back end as well.
No doubt about it. And as far as our products go, we wouldn't be here today, like I mentioned earlier, if
No,
it wasn't for the benefits and the results people have experienced,
exactly.
And a point of interest, we don't manufacture anything. And it's extremely advantageous to be positioned as a product brokerage company because we don't incur the costs that are normally incurred and getting product to the end consumer. And like you said, yeah, you're right. We're kind of the middlemen. As entrepreneurs, we're able to go directly to the end consumer instead of the big corporations making the money, right?
Exactly.
And Isotonics is our number one brand. We didn't set out to be a health and wellness oriented business because we would simply allowed the marketplace to determine what we developed and what we ultimately made available from a product development standpoint. So because people really wanted health and wellness over the years, and that industry continues to grow, and it's picking up steam, it's more, right? The majority of our brands and the majority of our business comes from the health and wellness division, if you will. And I know, Brett, you're into wellness, pretty extreme. I mean, those of you who haven't
This
seen
point.
Brett, this guy is built, he's strong. But if you don't mind, maybe just make a mention of some of the products that you use. And I mean, I know
Sure.
it's been a big part of your success as in your health and wellness quest and journey.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wasn't always built, I can say that. So when I started the business and where am today, it's crazy. But the products are fantastic. I will say this before I get into anything. I would highly recommend taking the 60-second health quiz. So whoever invited you on the call, like just make sure you take that, because it takes 60 seconds, but literally you can just put in whatever ailments you have, what goals you do have, and the AI will actually generate 6 products based on your entries to what would help you with whatever you wanted to improve or what goal you have. So that's the first thing. Secondary, isotonics for me, my whole family has been significant, right? Just because of the delivery system, right? So most of the times products, at least in the health and wellness space, come in in a pill, is some sort of chewable gummy bear, you know what I mean? And you're only getting 10, 20, 30% if you're lucky. But the beautiful thing about isotonics is because of the bioavailability, if you take it on an empty stomach, you have a 95% ability to have the absorption rate. So compared to 10 or 20%, you're going to really feel a difference, right? So anything from an antioxidant to a post-workout for like your joints or your BCAAs. We have an incredible protein through Tower, our electrolytes through Tower as well. But I will tell you this, that the products alone, and the one in particular, OPC3, that has done wonders for just myself in terms of, I don't want to get into all the details, but let's just say the quality of life has risen significantly.
And that's happened to thousands of people. Here's a quick video about isotonic.
Stop swallowing pills that go nowhere. Meet Isotonics, superior vitamins that millions have trusted for 30 years as the best on the market. Unlike most supplements, Isotonics works with your body's natural hydration process for maximum results with an isotonic formula. That means you're not just taking these vitamins, you're absorbing them. Get 95% bioavailability, up to 8 times faster than typical capsules. These are the science-backed ingredients with fast-acting results your body deserves. Simply mix the powder with the recommended amount of water, drink, and go. It's that easy. No binders, no coatings, no junk. Just high-quality nutrients delivering results you'll feel. If you're tired of wasting money and time on pills, then drink to your health with Isotonics.
Somebody said the other day, I don't take my vitamins, I absorb them. And without isotonics, you actually can absorb the nutrients. And, ultimately the original thought, idea, and vision that JR had was to provide a business or a system that would enable people to get paid on almost anything and everything they could need or want. So beyond our own exclusive products, we also have thousands of partners on our shop.com site. So ultimately, almost anything you can need or want, you can get through your own business, get paid for it, and your consumers can also earn cash back. So Brett, talk to us about the 3 ways you can make money here.
Absolutely. So, 3 ways to earn if you're taking notes. So the first one is our cash back, where you're going to get a certain percent back, not only as a consumer buying through any of our partner stores or the exclusive branded products, but also when one of your clients purchases from you, you get a portion of the cash back as well, which is fantastic. Our retail profit is anywhere from 30 to 100%, depending on the product, which is really beneficial, because when you get started and you're looking to earn, the few first $100 or whatever it may be, the first couple of weeks, that 30 to 100% retail profit is there. So you don't have to wait for that to be generated. You start your business, you can literally have that the same day, which is fantastic. And then number 3, which is my favorite, which is the weekly commissions, which is the asset that we've been talking about, or your business. Based on all of our sales that we create as a team, we do get paid out on that Friday.
And that's what they can learn more about by booking
Exactly.
a follow-up appointment. So really quickly here, I know we're getting toward we're circling the field, getting ready to come in for a landing, if you will. But check this out. The most effective and efficient way of penetrating a market is through word of mouth. Right? You go to a movie, you loved it. You go to a restaurant, you had a great time at, great meal at, great experience. The best part about the experience is telling somebody about it. You might tell 1 or 2 people about it. After 30 days, 40 or 50 people went to go see the movie, eat at that restaurant, and you got no credit. They didn't send you a commission, say thank you for all the business you ultimately led to. But because you told a couple of people about it, they did the same thing. That word of mouth spread. So JR figured out, well, wait a minute, if I could create a referral tracking system that could literally track all that word of mouth activity to ensure that everybody that you lead to, directly or indirectly, all the volume, 100% of it would come back to the original source. You could get paid. We'd have an extremely powerful business model. And that's exactly what the UnFranchise Business and the Management Performance Compensation Plan enables you to do.
The Market America seller has the ability to earn retail profits by building a loyal and satisfied customer base, and earn commissions by expanding sales and distribution channels with additional teams of sellers. A revolutionary referral tracking system allows the seller to receive 100% credit on all purchases made by them, their customers, and their customers' referrals, as well as capturing their team's transactional footprints. The sophisticated Management Performance Compensation Plan, MPCP, enables people to earn a supplemental income. MarketAmericaShop.com is the complete package designed and built to satisfy multiple needs and provide the ultimate turnkey business solution for aspiring entrepreneurs.
Okay. So ultimately, as I mentioned, there's been billions that have been earned. Over 12 billion has been generated in accumulated retail sales as of December 31st last year. So it's considerably more than this now. But what's even more impressive and actually even more important is the fact that over 2.2 billion, 6.2 billion has been earned. I mentioned this on the onset. So we have thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs, unfranchised owners, earning on a weekly basis. We have, hundreds who've made millions. And that's great, but to me, what's even more special and more powerful is that we have tens of thousands of individuals that do earn an extra $300, $600 a month, a couple $1,000s a month. Now, granted, you might not be able to retire on that tomorrow, but I think you will agree that that can impact the quality of one's life. You can eliminate credit card debt. You can handle a rent payment or a mortgage payment or a car payment or a few of them, right, Brett? And so it's impactful. But what's amazing, once somebody earns that first $300 commission, which, by the way, is the smallest commission that can be earned here, it's like, oh my goodness, this really does work. And it's amazing what transpires after that. But it's real, real people making real money. And, Brett, I often even joke about this. The skeptics out there might be seeing this for the first time saying, oh, they just pulled, these pictures off the internet or whatever. These are literally unfranchised owners, all of which who have earned at least $1 million in commissions, not even including the retail profits that they've made. And so it's just very special, very powerful. And I believe this is just the beginning. So Brett, you started out in the corporate world, which is a horizontal structure. To talk to us a little bit about, the differences here in our structure compared to what most organizations have.
Absolutely. And real quick with the point you just made, why I got started too is my thought process was, with the worst case scenario, let's say I'm making $1,500 a month. If I just put that away and invest that for 20 years, the thought process, like that's the worst thing that can happen, or even 10 years or whatever your time horizon is. But the reason why I was thinking like that to shorten that retirement was because of the horizontal marketing structure, which you guys can see here. We're all familiar with this. But, my big realization, and we can, read this together, but my big realization was when I went to my manager at the time, and basically I was told the only way you can go up is if this person retires or that person is no longer with us. Like they have to pass away, unfortunately. I'm just like, well, that's kind of demotivating, right? Because it's like, you're wishing negative onto somebody else. Right. Rather than working in an environment which is going to be uplifted, right? So you're always kind of walking on eggshells where there's no real incentive for teamwork, right? I was never, when I went to help other coworkers, and it did happen where, I would be yelled at. I'm like, I'm supposed, you know what I mean? You have earnings that, determined by somebody else. If you're someone that was like me, where it's like, okay, I want to get paid based on production, not just based on what someone else deems as my value. This business can definitely give you that. And you can see the rest. Like there's just a fight, and what we do and what's so special is imagine that same concept where you have a bunch of hungry people, Mark, Megan, Chris, Matt, Kate, Ann, Ryan, Kevin, instead of working in competition where it's fair to say that 8 of us, 9 of us have different skills, we have different strengths, we have different weaknesses. Imagine if you put all that together to create a teamwork where we share 100% credit, that where your weakness can be matched with somebody that's their strength. And now you're creating a team where we're all consumers at the end of the day. We all have to spend money. So why not put it through our own business, which will now pay us, plus the customers that we are creating, plus our future partners are going to be doing those first 2 things for infinity. When you understand that concept and what I was saying before with online shopping growing and AI coming into reality over the next 5-10 years, our business provides all of that with since 1992 track record of success. So when you put all those things together and you understand what you have in your hands, like we're not getting into any of the details, but connect with the person who invited you on the call so you can actually see how this would work for you. But if those concepts made sense, where like, okay, we work together, we're consumers, we're helping our customers come together, it can be done for you, right? So like, yeah, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but
no,
yeah.
it's great. No, what you're saying is great. I didn't want you to stop, but yeah, right. And you saw the words on the screen there. If somebody's looking to make an extra $300 to $500 a month, or looking to make an extra $2,100 to $3,600 per week or more, we can develop a plan for you, right? And you already mentioned this, Brett. We encourage you to take a 60-second health quiz. It's a great little tool that helps people to identify the products that will best suit their health and wellness goals. And by all means, if there's any interest at all in learning how the business is structured and how you're compensated, schedule a follow-up appointment, right? Learn how the business works. Learn the 5 steps of the compensation plan. See how it works. And from that point, we just encourage you to have fun and go on I think a journey that can really enable you to reach your personal and financial goals. So Brett, thank you so much for taking your time. Really appreciate it. Congratulations on all of your success in our business and in your life so far. We appreciate your leadership. I know it's just the beginning for you and your team as you continue to grow. And we just want to wish everybody happy holidays out there. I know we're finishing the year with a lot of strength and a lot of momentum. I think 2026 is going to be really unbelievable. So thank you guys very much. Brett, we really appreciate you, my friend.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Andrew. Everyone stay safe. Until next time, have a good night.
Take care.